He endured every strike for the alien princess. Now the queen demands him as her own. The lash cracked through the air, aimed at Princess Salir's exposed back. Jonah Cady shoved her aside. He planted himself in the strike's path. The barbed whip slammed into his shoulder. Fire exploded across his skin. He gritted his teeth. No cry escaped. The grand hall of the Alari court froze. Thousands of aliens in tiered seats gasped. High Matron Vesk's eyes widened from her elevated dais. Blade Captain Roturn gripped his sword hilt.
Human! Vesk snarled. Step away.
This ritual shames the air for her failures. You defile it. Jonah straightened. Blood trickled down his arm.
The whip's barbs had torn flesh in 3 neat lines. He met Vesk's gaze.
She takes no more. I volunteer. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Sailor stumbled back, her iridescent scales paling. She clutched his arm. Protocol demands. He shook her off gently. Full count, legal. Guards. He nodded to Roturn's squad. 1 at a time. No bunching. Roturn stepped forward, his blade armor clinking. The captain's multifaceted eyes narrowed. You presume to command my bladesman? This is Alari justice.
Jonah locked eyes with him. Keep it legal, Captain.
Or the court's own laws void it. 20 lashes. I take them. Vesk leaned forward, her elongated fingers tapping. Insolent off-worlder. The princess evaded 3 border patrols. Her shame cleanses the throne line. Accept it or die with her dishonor. Sailor's hand trembled on Jonah's elbow. High Matron, he serves as my shield by contract. Spare him. Vesk's laugh echoed cold and sharp. Contracts bind tools, not participants in ritual. Proceed, Captain. Losh the fool. His gaze flicked to Jonah's steady stance. Humans endured plasma burns in the outer rims without flinching, but this. 1 lash crippled most aides for days. First strike. Roturn barked. The whip sang again. It carved into Jonah's ribs. Toxin burned like acid in his veins. His vision blurred.
He braced his feet. Breathe.
1. Solar pressed against his side.
Stop this!
He ignored her. Continue.
2nd lash.
Muscles seized. He locked his knees. The crowd leaned in. Whispers turned to shouts. He stands. Impossible. 3rd. His spine arched. Sweat stung the wounds. Jonah focused on Sailor's warmth beside him. Protected her for 6 cycles now. Wouldn't fail here. Roturn signaled the 4th. The guard swung true. Jonah's legs buckled slightly. He caught himself. Vesk rose. Extract him. Medics. No. Jonah's voice cut through. Full count. 5th. Fire laced his nerves. His arms hung heavy. Sailor gripped his belt, scales scraping his skin. 6th.
He swayed.
Roturn paused. Captain, he's... Legal, Jonah rasped. Go. The hall thundered with alien voices. Alari didn't volunteer for pain. Their rituals broke wills, not bodies. This human rewrote the script. 7th. Jonah's world narrowed to the whip's rhythm. Inhale. Salier's scent, spice, and ozone grounded him. Knees nearly gave. He pictured the border ambushes he'd pulled her from. Human stubbornness. It worked. 9th. Toxin fogged his mind. Voices blurred. 10th. He dropped to 1 knee. Sailor knelt with him, shielding his face from the crowd. Enough. Vesk slammed her staff. The shame transfers. End it. Roturn lowered his whip hand. Half count. Ritual holds. Jonah pushed up. Blood soaked his tunic. No. Full. Or void. The captain's mandibles clicked respect. 15th. Lashes blurred into agony. Jonah counted silently. 11. 12. His body screamed. But he stood, walked the line. Human limits stretched further than Alari knew. 18.
Vision tunneled black. He leaned on Sailor.
She held him upright. 19. Barely audible. Joe. 20. The final crack split the air. Jonah collapsed forward. Silence crashed over the hall. Medics surged. Probes hummed toward his wounds. Back, Jonah snarled through clenched teeth. He waved them off. Grabbed Sailor's arm. Pulled himself vertical. Gasps echoed. A human, shredded and toxin-ridden, refused aid. Roturn sheathed his whip. By the stars, he completes it. Vesk's face twisted. The shame is his now. Escort the princess. Purge the human. Sailor yanked Jonah close, her grip locked on his wrist. public and unbreakable. Scales flushed deep violet, royal claim color. Her voice rang out, amplified by the hall's acoustics. Jonah Cade took my lashes. By ancient code he binds as my eternal protector. Court witnesses. The tears erupted. Vesk shot to her feet. Blasphemy. A human cannot. Shh. Silence. Sailor's eyes blazed. She raised Jonah's hand high. Blood dripped onto the marble. The lash ritual forged this bond. Challenge it, and you challenge throne law. Roturn knelt. It holds, princess. Legally, Jonah leaned on her, breath ragged. Pain throbbed, but her touch steadied him. Court eyes bored in. Shock, fury, awe. Vesk stormed forward. This ignites crisis. Aliens do not claim off-world filth. The matrons convene. Purge him, or her reign fractures. Sailor pulled Jonah toward the exit arch. Convene if you dare, my first decree as ascending queen. Jonah Cade stands at my side.
Queen? Jonah blinked through haze.
Her mother's death last cycle cleared the path. This ritual had been the final test. Guards parted. Jonah walked, stumbled really, beside her. Each step ground barbs deeper, but he matched her pace. No limp shown. Behind, Vesk shouted orders. Roturn barked at his squad to form escort. Sailor whispered, wrist still locked on his. You fool. Why? Job. He murmured. Kept you whole. Her scales brushed his skin. More than job now. They reached the antechamber. Doors sealed. Jonah sagged against the wall. Medics waited, but he waved them again. Sailor faced him. Tears gleamed in her alien eyes. Rest. He shook his head. Court first. Show them.
She nodded. Grip tighter.
Together they stepped into the corridor. Shouts echoed from the hall. Vesk rallied matrons. Purge calls grew. Roturn caught up. Queen Sailor. The human proves exceptional. But Vesk wields veto power. Accept sanctuary. Or face trial. He faces nothing alone. Jonah straightened, despite the fire. Humans endured. And now this bond demanded more. Vesk's voice boomed through vents. The court rejects. Human taint ends tonight. Sailor turned to Jonah. Her free hand cupped his face. Choose with me? He nodded once. Pain forgotten. Always. The corridor shook with approaching boots. The crisis ignited. Sailor yanked Jonah through the antechamber doors. Heavy boots slammed the corridor behind them. She slammed the panel shut. Locks hissed into place. Guards hold the hall. She snapped into her wristcom. No one enters. Roturn's voice crackled back. Queen Sailor, Vesk demands audience. Now.
Denied. Sailor released Jonah's wrist.
She spun to face him. Her scales flushed deep violet. You, sit. Jonah eased onto a low bench. Pain clawed his side from the barbs. His left shoulder hung loose, dislocated from the final guard's tackle. He ignored it. Job first. Sailor paced the private wing's dim glow. Crystal walls pulsed with security fields. Your limits. Assassins shredded you.
Guards pummeled. You walked.
Why no collapse? He met her gaze. Golden slit pupils bored into him. Trained for it. Humans adapt.
She halted.
Claws tapped her thigh. Adapt? You bled rivers. Roturn squad trains lifetimes for half that pain. They broke.
You didn't. She leaned close.
Fragrant spice from her scales filled his nose. Show me.
Prove humans endure more. Jonah gripped his left wrist with his right hand.
No medics, no drugs. Just discipline. He rotated the arm outward. Cartilage ground, nausea surged. He breathed steady. Pushed. A wet pop echoed. Shoulder seated. Sailor recoiled, then stepped nearer. Her hand hovered over the fresh bruise. No cry, no aid. How? Endurance. He flexed the arm. Fire lanced, but it held. Pain's a signal. Ignore when needed. She straightened. Eyes narrowed. Vesk calls purge. Court vetoes humans. I changed that. Sailor strode to a console. Holoscreens bloomed, she keyed commands. Text scrolled in swirling alien script. Protector's oath. Binding law. You swear fealty. I claim you consort guard. Court ratifies or fractures. Jonah rose. Shoulder throbbed, but he stood tall.
Concert. That's
Public.
Yes. Forbidden bond.
Now weapon.
She turned the hollow toward him.
Limits, Jonah? Refuse? He scanned the oath. Words promised loyalty, protection. Shared throne rights. Humans signed worse contracts.
Sailor's scales brightened.
She pressed her palm to the seal. Light scanned Jonah's retina. Oath locked. Law now. You stay. Alarms blared. Console flashed red. Incoming petition. High Matron Vesk's face appeared. Wrinkled scales, eyes like chipped obsidian. Friend Solir. Human foreign influence. Petition filed. Court convenes. Purge enacted.
Sailor snarled.
Oath ratified by succession code. Vesk's voice dripped venom.
Succession? You claim alien throne with human taint?
Matrons vote no. Roturn. Arrest the creature. The doors rattled. Roturn squad pounded outside. Queen, stand down. Jonah stepped forward. Hand on his stun baton. No weapons left from the trial. Just fists. Salarai, backup plan? She gripped his arm. Claws pricked skin. You protected me. I protect you. To the calm. Roturn. Oath binds him. Violet. Face treason. Then Ro's voice strained. Matron's petition supersedes.
Human must yield. Boots, scraped.
A squad blade pierced the door seal. Sparks flew. Jonah pulled Sailor behind him. Shoulder screamed protest. He squared up. They come through me. Her hand tightened. No. Protocol. She activated Throne Link. Hollow expanded. Full court feed. Matron's chamber boiled. Vesk stood central, gesturing wildly. Hi, Matron. Sailor's voice cut crystal clear. Petition denied. Protector Jonah Cotty saved throne. Oath law.
He took lashes meant for you. Human resilience mocks our guards.
Purge all contractors. Murmurs rippled. A young matron raised claw. He endured 12 barbs. Our best falter at 6. Roturn's image split the feed. From the door. Queen. I saw. Human walked. But law bends. Sailor thrust the oath hollow forward. Ratify or rebel. Vesk slammed her podium. Foreign influence corrupts. He influences you. Jonah felt Sailor tense beside him. Her tail brushed his leg. Steady, he whispered. Court splits. Push. She nodded. Scaled fingers laced his. Visible on feed. Gasps. Echoed. Vesk's eyes bulged. Consort touch? Scandal. Not scandal. Alliance. Alliance. Human endurance guards us. Reject him. Reject strength. Votes flickered. Matrons keypads. Tally climbed. 48% ratify. 47% purge. Tie loomed. Row turn burst through the splintered door. Squad flanked. Blades drawn. Yield the human. Stepped between. Row hesitated. Eyed the shoulder Jonah rolled experimentally. You reset alone. Impossible. Blade lowered fraction. Vesk orders.
Sailor's voice boomed via throne link. Blade captain.
Oath sworn. Stand with law. Tally hit 49%. A matron switched 50%. Ratify. Vesk shrieked. Veto. I wheeled it. Court feed froze. Emergency session. Jonah tensed. Squad blades gleamed. Ro's gaze flicked to him. Respect ward with duty. Human. Your pain tolerance.
Shames us. But Vesk ends.
Sailor yanked Jonah back. Console word. Backup seals engaged. Sanctuary wing active. Court decides outside. Doors resealed. Row pounded once, then nothing. Sailor slumped against Jonah. Her head rested on his chest. They break or bend. He wrapped his good arm around her. Scales cool against fevered skin.
Hollow pinged. Private message from Ro.
Vesk rallies hardliners. Vote in one cycle. Hold. Alarms softened. But boots echoed distant halls. Vesk's purge brewed hotter. Sailor lifted her face. Golden eyes locked his. Truth of limits? Jonah smirked through pain. None yet.
She traced his bruise.
Claws gentle. Then we forced their choice. Court feed resumed. Vesk rallied. Human claims queen. Purge or perish. Matrons shifted. Jonah's endurance whispered through ranks. Crisis peaked. One vote tipped throne. Or snapped it. Blades gleamed in the throne hall. A courtier lunged from the line, her edge sliced for Sailor's ribs. Jonah surged in front. Steel bit deep into his shoulder. Hot pain flared. Blood sprayed across scales. He clamped his jaw, matched Sailor's stride. No stagger, no cry. Sailor's golden eyes flicked to him. The gauntlet stretched ahead. 50 armed courtiers flanked the path. Vesk's purity trial. Prove the air untainted by human touch, or bleed for it. Jonah's boots hit marble in rhythm. Wound throbbed. Muscle tore with each swing of his arm. He ignored it. Discipline held. Sailor's tail brushed his leg. Steady signal. Another blade whipped low, aimed at her thigh. Jonah dropped his guard stance, kicked the attacker's wrist. Blade clattered free. He scooped it mid-fall, tossed it aside, continued forward. Gasps rippled through ranks, scales rustled. Eyes widened on him. Human. Bleeding. Sailor's voice cut sharp. Protocol holds.
Her claws grazed his elbow. Light pressure.
Urging. Halfway now. Sweat stung Jonah's eyes. Blood slicked his grip. Shoulder screamed. He rolled it once. Bone ground. Still functional.
Next courtier feinted high, drove low for Sailor's knee.
Jonah pivoted, took the slice across his forearm. Second cut. Deeper. Archery nicked. Blood poured. He pressed his palm to it, kept pace. Sailor's breath hitched, but her chin stayed high. Throne dais loomed. Vesk perched there. Elder scales etched with power lines. Eyes narrow. Triumph fading. Whispers spread.
Human endures.
Walks. Jonah tuned it out. Focus. Sailor. Protect. Endure. Blade Captain row turn. Shadowed the line. Scaled armor gleamed. Eyed Jonah's path. Respect flickered, then duty hardened his gaze. Final 10 courtiers. One broke ranks. Hardliner blade. Lunged straight at Sailor's chest. Jonah exploded forward, disarmed with a twist. Alien wrist snapped. Attacker howled. Dropped. Resumed position. Sailor reached the dais. Vesk rose. Purity questioned.
Human interference. Sailor cut her off.
Crossed intact. Throne link hummed. Her voice amplified. Row stepped forward. Blades drawn behind. Human assaulted courtier. Arrest. Guards closed. Jonah tensed. Blood dripped steady. Sailor whirled. Blade Captain. Oath to air.
Stand down. Row hesitated.
Eyed Jonah's shoulder. Rolled experimentally. You, reset alone? Impossible. Blade lowered a fraction. Vesk orders.
Tally flashed on hall screens. Court vote live.
49%. A matron switched sides. 50%. Ratify. Vesk shrieked. Veto! I wield it! Screens froze.
Emergency session.
Jonah tensed. Squad blades gleamed closer. Row's gaze locked his. Respect ward. Your pain tolerance. But Vesk. Ends. Sailor yanked Jonah back. Console word. Backup seals engaged. Sanctuary wing active. Court decides outside. Doors slammed shut. Row pounded once. Silence. Sailor slumped against Jonah. Head on his chest. Scales cool against his fevered skin. They break or bend. He wrapped his good arm around her. We endure.
Hollow. Pinged. Private from row.
Vesk rallies hardliners. Vote in one cycle. Hold. Alarms softened. Boots echoed distant halls. Vesk's purge brewed. Sailor lifted her face. Golden eyes locked his. Truth of limits? Jonah smirked through pain. None yet. She traced his bruise. Claws gentle. Then we forced their choice. Court feed flickered back. Vesk dominated the hollow. Face twisted. Human claims queen? Purge or perish. Matrons shifted. Whispers of Jonah's walk spread. 3 blades taken. Blood ignored. Kept formation. Human resilience. Extraordinary. Sanctuary hummed. Dim lights. Medpods lined walls. Untouched. Jonah leaned against console. Sailor patched his arm. Her claws precise. Field dressing sealed. You shield too much.
He grunted. Job!
Her tail coiled his ankle. Intimate. Forbidden. Your blood proves loyalty. Court feed buzzed. Row's voice now. Captain reports. Endured purity cuts. Lies. Scandal.
Tally crept.
Capital 6%. Hardliners barked.
Purge chants rose. Jonah watched. Sailor's hand squeezed his. Warmth spread. Her scent, spice and stone. Comfort. We claim publicly. He nodded. Or they break us both. Doors rattled. Guards tested seals. Rose's face appeared on subfeed. Private channel. Endurance legend grows. Courtiers talk. Your kind hides such strength. Jonah shrugged. Good shoulder ached less. Training. Rose scales flushed. Fear what it proves. Humans equal us.
Vesk's rally peaked. Hollow showed her waving claws.
Queen tainted. Strip throne. Tally dipped. 49%. Sailor straightened. Throne link pulsed. She broadcast. Matrons. Witness. Took blades meant for royal flesh. Walked unbowed. Clips played. Gauntlet feed. His intercepts. Blood arcs. Steady steps. Gasps echoed even here.
Tally jumped. 52%.
Besk howled. Manipulation. But matrons leaned in. One switched. 53%. Jonah's vision blurred. Blood loss tugged. Sailor noticed. Pushed him to medpod. Rest. He resisted. Watch. Her eyes softened. Claws cupped his jaw. You change everything. Lips brushed his forehead. Scales to skin. Bond sealed. Quiet. Powerful. Feed roared. Roe spoke against Vesk. Captain vouches.
Human competence saved air.
Besk rounded on him.
Treason. Tally hit 55%. Hardliners faltered. Oots massed outside. Pound grew. Sailor stood. Console ready. Emergency claim. Jonah Cade. Consort.
Even filtered.
Vesk's veto shattered. No hold. Tally surged.
60%.
Rose message pinged. Hold sanctuary. I sway more. Jonah rose. Wounds knit under dressing. Pain dulled. Human stubbornness. Sailor turned. Arms around him. We force acceptance. Doors buckled. Vesk's voice pierced. Yield queen. Final tally flashed. 65%. Ratify. Seals held. But crisis brewed. One vote could snap it. Jonah gripped her. Endurance whispered louder. Court would choose. Accept the bond. Or break on human steel. Sailor yanked Jonah upright as the throne console blared ratification chimes. 65% locked in. Doors rattled under Vesk's guards. Fists pounded steel. Yield, pretender! Vesk's voice sliced through the feed. Sailor ignored her. Claws stabbed the console. Challengers. Oath seals activate. 90. Heartbeats. Sign or forfeit. Hollow panels bloomed across the dais. Glowing oaths hovered before each rival matron. Vesk snarled. Her claws flew over her panel. Two hardliners beside her fumbled links. Heartbeat timer pulsed red.
80 beats. Jonah leaned into Sailor's grip.
Wounds throbbed under fresh dressings. Medgel knit flesh, but fire lingered. He straightened anyway. No collapse. Not here. Vesk signed first. Oath, locked, green. But her neighbor, a silver-scaled elder, hesitated. Claws hovered. Feed caught her whisper. Human taint timer hit 60. Panel flashed void. For fate. Gasps rippled.
Tally jumped to 70%.
Another challenger scrambled. Too late. 40 beats.
Her oath dissolved.
Matrons shifted. Whispers turned to murmurs. Sailor's tail flicked. Victory coiled in her stance. Timer zeroed. Final count. 72%. Seals ratified. She was queen. Doors buckled inward. Guards poured through. Vesk's loyalists' blades drawn. Roturn blocked them.
His captain's guard formed a wedge. Stand down.
Queen ratified. Vesk shoved forward. Scales bristled black.
Deport the human. Purge his kind.
Protocol 47. Off-world scum barred from core worlds. Matrons recoiled. Jonah tensed. Deportation meant exile. No trial. Straight to void haulers. Sailor spun. Voice amplified through throne link. Jonah Cade. To the dais. Guards parted. Jonah stepped forward. Legs held. Pain spiked with each stride, but he matched her pace. No limp. Eyes locked on hers. She pulled him beside the throne, a carved obsidian spire pulsing with link veins. Witness all. Jonah Kade stands under royal protection. Blades that touch him shatter on my claim. Court hushed. Vesk barked. Protection revoked. Deportation stands. Not while I breathe. Sailor's claws grazed Jonah's shoulder. Throne console hummed. I claim Jonah Cade, consort candidate. Protocol 12 invoked. Bond trial pending. Hull exploded. Shouts overlapped. Consort? A human? Forbidden. Vesk, veto. Jonah's gut twisted. Consort. Her scales warmed against his skin. Bond from the gauntlet lingered. Quiet fire. But this? Politics. Vesk leaped onto her dais. Lies. No royal bonds off flesh. Court vote expel the candidate. Matrons pinged consoles. Votes flickered. 48% against. Rising fast. Sailor's eyes narrowed. Guards herded Jonah toward the throne step. Roe bellowed. Kneel to your queen. Jonah planted feet. Refused. Pain be damned. He met Sailor's gaze. No, her crest flared. Court froze. Roe's blade twitched. No kneel? Sailor's voice dropped. Private channel pinged his implant. Stubborn human. Jonah pitched low, for her ears. Won't parade my scars. Vote with my blood. Not me. Vesk crowed.
Defiance. Purge him. Sailor's claws cupped his jaw.
Scales to skin, like the Medpod touch.
Heat spread. Promise held.
No symbol. Partner. Endurance matched. She turned to court. As equals claim. Jonah sank to one knee. Slow. Controlled. Wounds screamed, but posture stayed iron. Tally stalled. 50% against. Deadlock. Roe stepped up. Voice boomed.
Captain vouches. Human competence saved our queen.
Gauntlet proved it. Blades turned. Steps unbroken. We need that steel. Vesk whirled.
Treason, Roe.
Humans endure pain. Unnatural. They hide weapons in flesh. A matron switched. 49%.
Murmurs grew.
Jonah rose at Sailor's nod. Her tail brushed his leg. Anchor. Guards clashed at doors. Vesk's forces pushed. Roe's line buckled. One blade nicked an arm. Blue blood sprayed. Sailor activated throne defenses. Force veils snapped up. Sparked against intruders. Court chooses. Accept consort claim. Or break us both. Vesk laughed. Harsh. Break you? Gladly. Vote purge. Tally teetered. 49 against. 51. Accept. One matron. Gray-scaled. Wavering-eyed Jonah. Her gaze traced his dressings. Blood seeped fresh.
He didn't flinch. She switched.
52. Accept. Vesk roared. Hold. Protocol demands purity. Queen's claim legal. On trial sets precedent.
His troops surged, pushed Vesk back.
Jonah gripped Sailor's arm. Her claws laced his fingers.
Silent vow. Pain dulled. To resolve. Another matron pinged 50. Whispers spread. He walked the gauntlet, took a blades. For her. Vesk's face twisted. Scandal. All-flesh consort mocks tradition. Salir leaned into throne link. Broadcast intimate. Clips replayed. Not gauntlet agony, but aftermath. Her forehead kiss. Scales to skin. Feed hearts raced. Tally climbed. 55. Roe sealed a door. Vesk's guards. Trapped outside. Aliens gaped at his stillness. Scales shivered. Claws, flexed. Human, normal. They're extraordinary. Vesk lunged at console. Claws hammered, override. Purge vote. But Sailor countered. Link pulse jammed her. Queen's throne. Queen's bond. 57. Accept. Vesk staggered. This. Crisis births war. Sailor pulled Jonah onto dais. Throne veins pulsed welcome. War on us. Doors sealed. Guards knelt. Roe saluted. But Vesk's eyes burned. One whisper. One hardliner flip. And it snapped. Jonah stood firm. Her consort, Shadow. Endurance echoed.
Court stared.
Bond forced the reckoning. Sailor whispered. They break.
Or bend.
Outside, boots massed. Vesk's purge brewed. But inside, choice loomed. Accept the human, or shatter the throne. High Matron Vesk thrust her claws into the throne link console. Sparks flew. Interdiction ratified human-alien pairing. Capital taboo. Purge the off-flesh consort. Jonah tensed beside Queen Salir. Her scales brushed his arm. Cool steady. The court gasped. Matrons pinged dissent. Roturn's guards shifted blades. Sailor's voice cut through. Throne link amplified it. Denied. Queen's bond stands. Precedent set. Vesk whirled. Her frills flared red.
You mock tradition. He bleeds weak blood.
Court votes purge. Ping storm hit. 50-50 split. Jonah gripped Sailor's hand. Her claws pricked his skin. He ignored the sting. Boots hammered outside. Vesk's hardliners. Roe barked orders. Seal vents. Hold line. His troops formed a wedge. Blades gleamed. Sailor stood. Pulled Jonah with her. Enough. We settled this proper. Broadcast flared across the chamber. Public endurance right. Dawn cycle. My champion faces the gauntlet anew. Matrons froze. Whispers exploded. For a human? Vesk sneered. He'll shatter, like last time. Appoint Jonah Cade. Official champion. Queen's consort trials the blades. Jonah's pulse spiked. Last gauntlet nearly killed him. 10 strikes.
He walked it for her. Now public?
Court stared. Scales shivered at his calm stance. Roe saluted. Champion prepped. My oversight. Vesk laughed.
He dies legal.
Bond breaks. Sailor waved dismissal. Doors hissed open. Roe's guards shoved Vesk out. Hardliners scattered. Inside, silence dropped. Sailor turned to Jonah.
Her claws traced his jaw.
You endure. Again. For you. Roe clapped Jonah's shoulder.
Hard enough to bruise. Armory.
Now, train or die. Jonah followed. Left Sailor to her links. Corridors blurred. Guards nodded respect. One hissed. Human walked it. 10 blades.
Armory hummed. Blades lined walls.
Curved, vibro-edged. Roe stripped to scales. Tossed Jonah a staff. Stance, first. Your block's sloppy. Jonah caught it. Gripped tight. Human muscle coiled. Roe lunged. Staff cracked air. Jonah parried. Jared his arms. Low. Roe grunted. We strike tendons. You bend. Jonah reset. Feet planted wide. Alien drill, root like stone. He mirrored Roe's pivot. Staff whipped low. Blocked it.
Wood splintered. Roe's eyes widened.
Frills twitched. Human speed. Adopt the coil. He demonstrated. Body twisted serpentine. Blade mock slashed. Jonah copied. Muscles burned. Hours blurred. Sweat soaked his shirt. Roes, strikes, hammered. Bruises, bloomed. Jonah breathed steady. Pushed through. Again. Roe, reset. Their weapons sing. They broke Cut's bone. Jonah nodded. Staff spun. He coiled. Struck high. Roe dodged. Edge kissed Jonah's ribs. Fabric tore. Blood welled. Pain flared. Jonah ignored it. Human normal. Pressed attack. Staff cracked Roe's guard. Alien staggered. Roe laughed. Claws flexed approval. Endurance. Not brute. He sheathed mock blade. Dawn nears. Rest. Jonah leaned on staff. Ribs throbbed.
Enough?
Roe gripped his arm. Vesk rigs it. Extra blades. Survive, court bends. Back in chambers, Sailor waited. Throne veins snaked the floor. She paced. Claws clicked stone. Jonah entered. She rushed him. Claws probed his wounds. Roe, brutal, he teaches. Jonah pulled her close. Her scales warmed against his chest. I adapt. She linked foreheads. Breath synced. Court fractures. Vesk sways elders. Right forces choice. Ping chimed. Edict draft. Sailor scanned. Sign this. She keyed it live. Claws danced console. Queen's fate binds to champion. He endures. We rule. He falls. Abdicate.
Your crown?
She met his eyes. Gold slits fierce. Ours. They accept us. Or lose both. Ping confirmed. Edict broadcast. Chamber shook. Outside boots thundered closer. Vesk's purge massed. Roe burst in. Blade drawn. Hardliners breach outer gates. Right arena prepped. Dawn in hours. Sailor straightened, pulled Jonah's hand to her chest. Heart pulsed fast under scales. Champion. Walk with me. Guards flanked. Arena loomed, coliseum of stone and link veins. Matrons filled tears. Vesk center stage. Her frills dominated. Crowd roared. Purge! Taboo. Sailor mounted days. Link pulsed. Endurance rite begins. Champion Cade faces gauntlet. Blades honor tradition. Vesk stepped forward. 20 strikes. Vibro full.
Human breaks.
Matrons murmured.
Ro whispered to Jonah.
Stance. Coil. Endure. Jonah stripped shirt. Scars mapped his torso. Last gauntlet's gift. Crowd hushed. Scales rippled shock. Guards lined up. Blades hummed. First lunged. Jonah coiled. Staff blocked. Vibro sang. Arm numbed.
He held second.
Third. Strikes rained. Blood sprayed. Pain layered. Human grit locked it down. Crowd gasped.
He stands. 10th blade. Ribs split.
He staggered. Sailor's claws dug throne. Silent scream. Jonah reset. Rooted. 11th. Thigh gashed. Leg buckled. He rose. Vesk snarled. More. 15th. Vision blurred. Blood pooled. Jonah breathed. One breath. Pushed. Ro yelled. Champion holds. 20th. Blade arced final. Jonah coiled perfect. Blocked. Staff shattered. Edge grazed shoulder. He dropped to knee. Aaron silent. Jonah rose. Slow. Steady. Blood dripped. He faced Vesk. Unbroken. Sailor surged forward. Claws laced his. Champion endures. Edict binds. Who challenges? Vesk lunged. Guards intercepted. Her console pinged defeat. Matrons shifted. 57 accept. Flipped higher. Ro sealed arena. Queen's victory. But outer gates boomed. Vesk's hardliners poured in. Blades high. Purged the off-flesh. Salir pulled Jonah behind her.
They choose now. Bend or shatter.
Jonah gripped staff shard. Wounds screamed. He stepped forward. Her shield. Crowd split. Blades clashed. Crisis ignited. Blades clashed in the arena's heart. Jonah gripped the splintered staff shard, blood slick in his palm. Wounds burned across ribs, thigh, shoulder. Fire he boxed into corners of his mind. Sailor yanked him behind her throne dais. Her scales flushed violet with fury. Hardliners surged through outer gates. Vesk's loyalists' blades humming vibro death. Purge the off-flesh, their chant thundered. Jonah stepped forward anyway. Her shield now. He planted feet wide, breath steady despite the drip of blood pooling at his boots. Ro turned barked orders. Royal guards formed a wedge, pikes locking against the flood. Crowd-split matrons recoiled, merchants fled, but 57 held firm, consoles blinking green acceptances. Sailors' claws flexed. They choose now, bend or shatter. Vesk shoved through her captors, robes torn. The right lied. Human filth taints the bloodline. Rose pike pinned her shoulder. Right witnessed. Votes bind. A blade whistled past Jonah's ear. He swung the shard low, caught a knee. Cartilage crunched, alien toppled, howling. Sailor spun, her own vibro dagger flashing. She gutted the next attacker, green ichor spraying. Jonah blocked a high slash. Staff shard vibrated agony up his arm. He twisted, drove elbow into the assailant's throat. It gagged, dropped. Pain tolerance, his edge. Humans broke slow. Ro bellowed. Hold the line. Queen's edict. But numbers pressed. Vesk laughed shrill. Ro betrays. Purge all soft hearts. A hardliner leaped the dais. Jonah intercepted, took the vibro tip across forearm. Skin parted clean. He clamped muscle, rammed shard into the attacker's eye socket. It slumped. Sailor pressed close, back to back. Her tail coiled protective around his leg. You endure enough, she hissed.
Stay down.
He reset stance. Not while they swing. Crowd roared, split purge chants versus Queen endures. Matron's consoles flickered.
60 acceptances now. Vesk saw it, snarled.
She triggered wrist comm. Outer reinforcements boomed gates wider. Ro parried 2 blades at once. Jonah, flank left.
Draw them.
Jonah moved. Micro shift weight. Feint high. 3 hardliners bit. He dodged first slash, parried second with shard. Third, grazed hip. Fresh blood, he breathed. One inhale, out slow. Controlled chaos. Sailor vaulted dais edge. Protocol binds. Vesk defies right, treason. Guards rallied to her voice. Pike's thrust synchronized. Hardliners faltered. Jonah scooped fallen Pike length advantage. He swept low, toppled two. Ro nodded sharp respect, fear in his slit pupils. Human fights like us, Ro muttered, but does not break. Vesk lunged again, dagger aimed at Sailor's back. Jonah intercepted. Pike halved, blocked. Vibro sparks flew. She recoiled, eyes wide at his speed.
Filth. He twisted haft, cracked her wrist. Dagger clattered.
Guards swarmed her. Ro cuffed irons tight. High matron detained. Queen's justice.
Hardliners wavered, blades low.
Sailor climbed dais, ichor smeared. She seized Jonah's arm, raised it high.
His blood mingled hers on scales. Champion endured.
Vibraful, 20 strikes, unbroken. Voice amplified, crystal clear. Edict claims him. Consort bound. Who challenges? Silence crushed. Matron's consul surged. 80 accepts. Vesk spat from irons. Sailor's gaze locked Jonah's. Claws laced gentle now. You shielded me. I claim you. His chest tightened, not pain. Loyalty sealed. He nodded once. Crowd gasped, scales rippling, row-sealed gates. Victory sealed. Purge fails, but Vesk's laugh echoed. Court fractures tomorrow. Hardliners wait. Sailor pulled Jonah close. Throne room pulsed tension. Choice made public. Bond unbreakable, or realm shattered. Hours blurred into medbay lockdown. Jonah sat rigid on slab, auto-sutures humming across gashes. Pain dulled to throb. He flexed fingers, tested grip. Sailor paced, crown heavy on brow. You halt, nothing. She snapped. Claws raked air. Right near killed you. He met her eyes, golden slits fierce. Right was yours. I took it. She halted, tail lashing. Protocol demanded Princess endure. Vesk twisted it. Illegal force. You signaled Ro, recorded all. Jonah shrugged. Fresh scar pooled.
Illegal wins nothing long-term.
Ro entered, tablet glowing, footage viral. Matron's flip. 90 accepts. But Vesk's faction barricades lower halls, demands purge vote. Sailor's scales darkened. They break us first. Jonah rose. Legs steady. Or bend? Medtechs protested. He waved them off. Grabbed tunic, scar-mapped torso reminder. Followed Sailor to war room. Hollow map flickered. Hardliners held armory, numbers swelling. Row traced lines. We hold core. But they cut power. Starve us. Human eyes spotted vents. Narrow. Overlooked. Flank through service. Aliens blinked. Row's crest flared. Human-sized. You fit? No. He coiled breath. Yes. She searched his face. Claws tightened. Not pain. Anchor. Return whole. Dawned assault. Jonah crawled vents. Pike strapped tight. Air stale, scales grated stone. Hardliners chattered below. Purge plans. He dropped silent. First sentry gurgled under chokehold. Pike claimed second. Third spun, too late. Jonah dragged bodies aside. Sabotaged generator. Lights died arena-wide. Chaos erupted. Royal guards breached. Blades clashed dark. Sailor's voice cut through. Surrender. Vesk purged. Hardliners broke. Row-collared leaders. Jonah emerged, blood-free, Pike intact. Sailor crushed him in brace. Scales warm against scars.
You endure.
She whispered.
My shield.
Court reconvened noon. Matrons packed tears. Vesk chained center stage. Sailor ascended throne. Jonah at right, consort stance. Endurance right proved. Hollow played. Jonah strikes, breaths controlled, staggers reset. Crowd hushed. Vesk sneered. Trick. Human cheats pain. Jonah stepped forward. Stripped tunic deliberate. No cheat. Human normal. Scales rippled shock. Row nodded. He stood 20. Vibro full. Sailor declared. Bond. Binds. Accept or exile. Consoles blazed. 98 greens. Vesk's face crumpled. Realm bent. Not shattered. But whispers lingered. Jonah felt Sailor's tail brush his. Quiet endurance forged throne. Forbidden no more. Weeks sealed it. Protocol twisted weapon. Sailor issued edict. Human contractors honored. Jonah trained guards. Micro movements. Breath control. Ro sparred daily. Crest high respect. You prove us wrong, Ro admitted post-drill. Blades sheathed. Humans, relentless. Jonah wiped sweat. Team wins. Sailor watched from balcony. Claws laced his post-feast. Choice public.
He pulled her close. Pain tolerance extended, heart too.
Bond endured, yet Vesk's hardliners lurked shadows. One leaked missive. Off-flesh sires, weak heirs. True purge comes.
Sailor burned it. They try shatter us again.
Jonah gripped shard, kept relic. We stand. Blades waited. Prices simmered. Choice eternal. Court gala gleamed. Matrons toasted queen's consort. Jonah endured dances. Alien grace testing balance. Sailor led flawless, tail-coiled possessive. Ro cornered him alcove. Vesk escaped convoy. Rumors fleet-bound. Calls invasion. Jonah's jaw set. She brings war? Ro's eyes narrowed. To purge you. Us for accepting. Sailor appeared. Intercepted signal. Fleet masses outer rim. Arena reborn battlefield. Jonah donned armor. Human fit, alien vibro-edged. Sailor crowned war helm. They shatter on us, she vowed.
He nodded.
Revolution loud. Fleet alarms wailed. Hardliner ships declo. Fleet alarm screamed through the throne hall. Jonah snapped his vibroblade free, eyes locked on the holoscreen. Hardliner ships decloaked at the outer rim. Vesk's exiles, fangs bared. She yanked him toward a side corridor, tail lashing. Exit shuttle prepped, she hissed. Human corridor, off-world now. No one follows. Jonah planted his boots. The deck shuddered under incoming fire. Guards scrambled, Ro barking orders. Sailor's eyes burned, fear masked as command. Go Jonah live.
He sheathed his blade, shook his head.
Not without you. Her crest flared.
This is order. Queen commands.
Fleet signatures multiplied. Torpedoes inbound. Jonah gripped her shoulders. Command accepted. I stay. Explosions rocked the shields. Ro's voice cut through comms.
Shields holding!
All hands to stations. Sailor shoved him toward the hatch. Jonah stepped back into the main hall. Spotlights hit him. Matrons gasped from their perches. He dropped to one knee, fist over heart, protector's oath stance. I, Jonah Cade, renew my vow. By choice. Shield and blood for Queen Sailor. Realm endures. Silence crushed the alarms. Sailor froze mid-stride. Her tail coiled tight. Ro pivoted from the holoscreen, blade raised.
Captain?
A guard lieutenant edged forward. Ro's crest rose high. He slammed fist to chest.
Gods, hear the new law.
Interspecies bonds under contract, protected. Swear it. Blades rose as one.
Sworn?
Matrons hissed. One elder spat. Abomination sires weak. Sailor stormed the dais. Her voice boomed over speakers.
Jonah Cady stands proven. He took lashes for me.
Endured purge blades. Saved this throne. Jonah rose slow. Ribs ached from old scars, but he met every glare. Pain tolerance. His edge. Humans bent, never broke. I name him consort, Salir declared. Tribunal convenes at dawn. Port votes precedent. Accept or shatter with Vesk.
Fleet pains escalated.
Ro grabbed Jonah's shoulder.
Shuttle bay secure? You drill us now?
Jonah nodded. Breath control first. Hold under fire. Guards formed ranks. Jonah paced the line, correcting grips.
Micro movements. Anticipate.
Humans last because we adapt. A young guard mimicked. Perfect. Crest bobbed respect.
Sailor watched from throne.
Pride flickered. Tribunal chamber glowed under judgment orbs. Matrons filed in, crests low. Vesk's absence loomed. Her fleet, the silent vote. Sailor sat elevated. Jonah at her side, unarmored. Protocol weaponized. High Matron Lyrak spoke first. Consort bond weakens lineage. Off-flesh taints. Sailor's tail flicked Jonah's leg. Reassurance.
Prove it,
Jonah said.
Voice steady.
Lyrak recoiled. Human speaks? He endures, Ro cut in. Took princess's punishment. 10 lashes, no cry. Guards broke first. Murmurs rippled. Jonah flexed hands. Scars gleamed under lights. Reminders, Endurance saves thrones, Sailor said. Fleet masses because Vesk fears it. Vote. Orbs pulsed. Matrons touched pads. Tally climbed. Narrow. Precedent holds. The chamber AI intoned. Consort accepted.
Cheers mixed with hisses. Jonah exhaled.
Sailor's claws laced his undertable. Ro leaned close post-vote. Vesk's signal intercepted. She rallies exiles. Demands your head. Jonah's jaw tightened. Let her come. Shuttle bay hummed. Jonah checked harnesses on guard squads. Breath drills synced heartbeats. Aliens marveled. Humans normalized pain into rhythm. You're stone, Ro grunted, sparring light. Blade clanged off Jonah's guard. We shatter. You reset? Team, Jonah countered. Swept Ro's leg. Gentle takedown. Your speed blindsides. Ro laughed, rising. Crest peaked. Fleet inbound. Alarms blared anew. Sailor burst in. Warhelm crowned. Interceptors launch. Jonah, consort station prepped. He strapped in beside her command throne. Screens flared. Vesk's armada. Crimson hulls. Fire patterns? Jonah asked. Sailor's claws danced controls. Predictable. Rage blinds. Torpedoes streaked. Jonah called breaths. In. Hold. Out. Sink fire. Guards echoed. Shields flared brighter. Hits glanced. Ro whooped over comms. Human rhythm, flawless. Vesk's flagship hailed. Her face filled screens, scarred, venomous. Yield the off-flesh, she snarled. Purge or perish. Sailor leaned forward. Tribunal spoke.
You fled. Realm bends to endurance, not hate.
Vesk's eyes narrowed on Jonah. Human filth. He took her lashes. I'll take your spine. Jonah met her stare.
Hail cut. Missiles inbound. Full barrage.
Sailor's fleet danced. Jonah's counts guided dodges. Left flank weak. Press. Explosions lit void. Vesk's lead ships crumpled. Hours ground. Jonah's voice stayed level, throat raw, but breaths held. Ro reported. Her core breached. Fleeing. Vesk's voice crackled final. This endures impossible. Shields held. Realm intact.
Dawn broke over tribunal aftermath. Matrons bowed deeper.
Jonah walked corridors unmolested. Guards saluted. Sailor pulled him to balcony. Stars wheeled calm. Her tail coiled his waist. Freedom offered, she murmured.
You chose chains.
He cupped her crest. Oath. Heart. Claws traced his scars. Consort. Mine. Ro approached. Trained squads deploy rimward. Vesk's remnants scatter. Jonah nodded. Endurance spreads. Court gala reignited that night. Jonah endured dances. Sailor's grace leading. Tail possessive curl. Matrons toasted. To precedent.
Whispers faded. Bond sealed.
Yet rim sensors pinged faint. Vesk's shadow lingered. One ship ghosted inbound. Cloaked probe. Jonah's hand tightened on hilt. Choice echoed eternal. Sailor sensed it. They test. Grinned faint. We stand. Fleet scars healed slow. Jonah trained harder. Human resilience rippling through ranks. Ro sparred relentless, blades singing.
Your anomaly,
Ro admitted, wiping ichor.
Pain your fuel.
Discipline, Jonah corrected. Yours is precision. Combine. Sailor joined drills. Her strikes blurred. Jonah blocked. Endured bruises. Consort fights queen, she teased. Protect, he said. Pulled her through forms. Ashen ignited post-drill. Chambers sealed. Tails and hands tangled. Endurance extended. Bodies synced. Court watched closer. Hardliners lurked, but tribunal bound them. Probe decloaked rimside. Rose squad boarded. Vesk's assassin aboard. Human leads breach. Comms crackled. Jonah's protocols flawless. Assassin yielded. Vesk's missive followed. Endurance noted.
Truce, for now.
Sailor burned it.
Crisis bends. We forge. Jonah kept shard. Relic of lashes. Reminder. Realm stabilized. Jonah's quiet stand rippled outward. Human contractors honored fleet-wide. One eve, Sailor traced his jaw. Off-world still open. Free choice.
Chose you?
Always. Alarms stayed silent. Bond unbreakable. But outer rim flickered. New signatures. Unknown fleet. Ally? Foe? Ro burst in. Contacts hail. Human markings. Jonah's eyes sharpened. Endurance called anew.